incredibly high evasion, so you're not gonna. It's not gonna end up being a Temple of Fiends simulator seed.
No, and with weapon fixes not even on, the black belt actually has a higher crit chance, so nothing can be particularly scary.
Yeah, exactly. So we got Harm 4 on the white magic shop. Did you see what they have in the black one?
You have a Fire 3 and a level 1 fast. That's always a nice sight to see.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. That also guarantees that your red mage is gonna have, well, doesn't guarantee it, but it's a really good chance that he's gonna be able to get fast, which is usually one of the worries when you take a red mage. And did anybody take Harm 4, which I think is a really good spell to take, especially if you gotta go into Marshcape.
Harm is a seriously undervalued spell. I mean, it's good enough to carry you almost all the way to Sea Shrine and Mirage Tower.
Yeah, it's a really good spell. It really shines on the Marshcape. And maybe if you have to go into ordeals early, which is not usually on these flags, but Harm 4 does carry you in ordeals against those zombies.
And I mean, it still has its place even in Earth and Ice Caves. Both have a lot of undead encounters as well.
Yeah, Ice Cave is usually a really undead heavy area. You also save some valuable black spell charges to use against something else. I agree with Trinton. He says that Fire 3 versus Harm 4, you have to get Fire 3 first, which is, yes, that is the go-to spell usually. Because maybe you don't even have to use Harm 4, because you're not. Ice Cape is not incentivizing these flags, so there's no reason to go there unless you really have to. And we don't know if we're gonna get an early TNT here.
It's still a nice thing to have for Lich and the Phantom.
That is true. So we got Drumboardist heading into Temple of Fiends first.
And we've got the bottle in Conaria. At least that's one less thing on their minds.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good, because you don't have to check the item shops in later towns, unless you forget. We got the slab on Temple of Fiends. So that's one quest item down. Sometimes you can employ the strat of, if you have an early slab, you can check the chest in the Mirage Tower and then just go back, because there's a lot of chests in there. I prefer doing that over going to Sea Shrine, because Sea Shrine is a lot more dangerous, and it's a lot longer than just checking Mirage Tower.
Oh, it has a ton of unrunnable encounters, and most of them are really scary.
Yeah, or really time consuming, like the Sea Hacks group.
Yeah.
And we got Drum going into Garland first.
And making short work of him.
Indeed. Right, Xarnax opting to kill the wolf group. That's always really good experience, and gold, which is usually very valuable early on, unless you get a really high gold chest, which I don't think it's the case on this seed yet. And Rom opting to pick up a few more heal. Oh, there's no heal potions there. He's picking up pure potions. Huh, that's really strange. Usually you always get a heal potion in the first shop. And we got Xarnax about to head into Garland, so Drumboardist has a slight lead. It's not enough to say that he's gonna win, obviously, but sorry, we have some technical difficulties with Artea. So I'm gonna be commentating. Until he comes back. So we have the tail in Matoya's cape. So for Drumboardist strat, he doesn't really need the tail unless he plans to take the white mages or his mages to the end. Because once you level up the black belts to after the Agamas, you don't really need to take the mages anymore, and the black belts don't benefit that much from class changing. In fact, it actually hinders them, considering that the black belt gets a higher magic defense gain per level over the master. So the tail's good to have. He knows that if he really needs it, he can class change to get those powerful spells. But the strat involves him not needing to class change, so that's gonna save time. And Xarnax, let's see if he checks Matoya's cape first or not. Yeah, free slap and free tail is very good, but for this party, I think that Xarnax benefits a lot more from the early tail because of his mage heavy group. Let's see what we got on the white magic shop. Heal 3, that's a really good spell. So you can save a lot of time by not having to take so many heal potions into dungeons now. And nuke. So we have like really good early game spells. I think both players are gonna be set for the early game really well with that nuke and that heal 3. And harm 4. You know, harm 4 you can actually save a lot of nuke charges if you have to go into Ice Cave or Marsh. And Xarnax finds the tail. They also find 13,000 gold, which will help them buy any other spells that they need in Elftown. And usually Elftown is where things start to get really expensive. That's where you actually need the gold. I would also like to see Drum check if there's a silver bracelet, because that's really good going into Volcano. And there's no bracelets there. Drumboardist buys a house. Xarnax is heading towards Provoca now. Let's see if he does kill these wolves for the experience and money. So that's a good choice. That's always a good choice. Getting your black belt to level 15, and while entering Volcano is a really good level to be at because level 15 and on, level 15 to 20, the black belt can two or three shot the Agama. And then when you get to 20, you can usually start getting in range of one-shotting the Agamas. So I always think that getting level 15 going into Volcano is a really good level to be at. Of course, you can risk it and save time and go at level 10 or 11, but with those, I mean, even with 120% stats, things hit really hard, especially the giants. And what else? What else? The hydras. The hydras in the lake hit so hard. I'm pretty sure that everybody who's raced this knows how hard those hydras can hit you. So that's gonna be a thing. Alright, Xarnax, I don't think he checked the black magic shop. And we have nothing on the dwarf cave. Xarnax opting to buy a few heal potions. That's always good. Depending if you want to save all those heal 3 charges for a dire situation. Alright, yeah, and I don't think Xarnax saw the black... No, he did see the black magic shop. He has nuke. Alright, so Xarnax has double nuke, so that's pretty big too, while Drumboardist only has 1. Xarnax is going to be able to clear large groups a lot faster than Drum, so that might be enough to catch up from that little deficit that he has against Drum. We have life on the level 4 slot. That's always good to have if you run out of life too, but I don't... And life 2 is blocked for the red mage, but luckily for them they both have a white mage, so that's not a problem. I didn't see. We're gonna check if life is good for the red mage when Xarnax gets to Elfland. And Drum runs resets from a few walls. And he encounters some arachnids. Usually those arachnids, when it's not round 1 flags, they have a tendency to get some really nasty spells, so that's good for them. They're not gonna have to worry about nasty arachnids. So Drum still is keeping that small lead he has over Xarnax. And Xarnax reaches level 9, which is a great level to be at right there. Usually getting to level 10 inside the Marsh Cave is a good indicator that you're progressing well. I mean, usually the normal, like the standard route, which is unofficially established here, is get the TNT. If there's no TNT early, you go to the Marsh Cave, then immediately go to Volcano. It's very few instances where you get an early Ruby, and you have to decide whether to go to Earth Cave or Volcano. Especially when there's no incentives, no Ice Cape or Ordeals incentive, you usually just head straight to Volcano. And those levels really help for the trek on the river against the Hydras and inside the Volcano. So Drum is gonna check the first chest after he runs away from these bones, and let's see if Xarnax can learn life. Let's see. I mean, he has a white mage, so that's not a problem. I think he could learn the life spell. Drum finds some gold. He finds more gold and a pure potion. That's not what he wants. So he immediately resets to save the time from going back since there's no exit or warp. And he's gonna go down to the basement. While Xarnax is hot on his heels right now, heading into Marsh Cape himself. Now, we also don't know which enemies have Stone or Death hit. So anything here could potentially be a threat. Xarnax is about to head to the top chests, and he will be disappointed, just like Drum is, from having nothing on them. And I noticed that Drumboardist is level 8, so Xarnax has a 1 level lead, but that's not really big. I mean, level levels will come into play when you get to Volcano. And Drumboardist got some werewolves. We got a lot of Rurus today. More wolves! And Xarnax gets the Coral Sword, which I don't think the Red Mage, no. The Red Mage can't use the Coral Sword. And Drumboardist finds the crown. That's actually all the, the difficult to find items, quest items, because you're guaranteed to get the floater before going into Sea Shrine. So, this is probably an early go seed. This is gonna be an early go seed, most likely. So, whoever... Yo!
Just jumping in for Artea here.
Alright. Thanks for the support. So yeah, we have Edgeworth here, helping up with a commentary, because Artea seems to be having technical difficulties. Welcome.
Thank you. So it's turning out very interesting so far with both the crown and the slab early. This is shaping up to be very fast.
Yeah, this is gonna be an early go seed, especially with black belts. Well, in my opinion, it kind of comes down to who gets to do the grind first. And yeah, I think the grind is going to be a big decider on who gets the lead. Alright, so Drum kills the mage, the wizards, and he finds a pro ring for his efforts, which is always good. Usually I would not equip the pro ring, because he has level 9 on his black belts, and the pro ring is 8. The pro ring is 8 defense. So that's gonna give him 1 less defense, unless he finds a bracelet somewhere. And Xarnax finds the TNT. And Drum is probably gonna find it soon too. Oh, Drum also has a TNT, yeah. So these guys are probably gonna head directly to Volcano. So what do you think about the Seed Edge?
It's very interesting with a lot of early action. I agree with Volcano as well, just because it's the most chests that are accessible as soon as you get the canoe.
And Xarnax has his black belt down. That's gonna put him a bit behind on the experience, which is gonna be a factor on when they're power leveling their black belt, if they decide to power level. And we have a question from chat. Have we seen any bad touches yet? I don't think so, no. Not yet.
I think ogres have stun, and that's about it.
Yeah, we still haven't seen any stone or death. Alright, so Drum is probably gonna head straight to Astos to get the key. And he fights more wolves. Oh, there is a lot of wolves formation this seed.
It looks like Harm 4 is going to pay off on this formation here.
Yeah, Harm 4 was actually pretty good, because they did have to go into Marscape. It didn't play a huge role, because, you know, they have Nuke, especially Xarnax, with his Red Mage and Black Mage, with both of them with Nuke. And he fights the crown. It's a good thing that he decided to check that chest. Sometimes you might just leave. without checking those chests, especially if you have exit. You know, you just get the TNT and you just book it. All right, Rom making quick work of Astos. He survived the nuke. That's wow. That's a pretty high defense on Astos there, or a really bad roll on the nuke.
Oh, and down goes one of the black belts. That's going to hurt his progression in the volcano.
Yeah, that's gonna make him do 1 or 2 more extra Akamas. I mean, I think whoever levels up first is going to have a good lead, because, well, if they go directly into if they go directly to chaos, maybe they might deviate to find a ribbon or two. Or if they get wall early, they might resurrect the white mage or their mages and just have wall on the black belts and just plow through everything that way. It's interesting to see what they're gonna choose after doing the power leveling. I mean,
Yeah.
would you try and go get some ribbons, or just go straight to chaos after doing the power leveling?
I would try to maybe get some ribbons beforehand and go after these crown chests. I very much like having, a pro ring at minimum, but at least a ribbon when doing the level grind. And
Yeah,
with access to the early crown chests, I think both players stand a pretty good chance of finding an early ribbon.
that is true. That is the safest route to go. If you want to go like really top speed, you just get straight to Volcano, do the grind, and just plow through everything. But that is true. The Bane and Crack that you might, well, black belts have an insane amount of magic defense too, so a gamble would not be too far fetched. I don't know how much magic defense helps you against Bane or Crack, but I'm pretty sure that black belts have a big edge over all the other classes on that regard.
No, they absolutely do. And once they hit, maybe even level 50 or so, it is possible to do the final dungeon without a ribbon. Not advisable, but certainly possible.
Yeah. I mean, they could also find the ribbon on the way when they get the floater. They also have the Cardia Islands to check in the Giant Cape, so they got a really big chances to find the ribbon, especially with that early key.
Though with the enemy spells not being shuffled, not having a ribbon for Temple of Fiends is like, to me, it's a required item. At least one ribbon.
Indeed. Unless you get wall. I don't think we've seen wall yet, but if it's level 7 or 8, I would probably prefer to look for a ribbon.
I mean, the first turn Bane from Tiamat is just too scary not to have something to protect you from it.
Yeah, that is a big risk that you're taking. And we got some more wolves on Xarnax side. Like, we seen like, I don't know, 10 wolves this seed. 10 wolf encounters or more. We got an ice shield and money and a heal helmet for Drumboardist. You know, usually when you don't have a fighter and you find all these nice armor pieces or weapon pieces, you kind of get a little bit sad, but you're also happy because you can sell all those things if you're in need of money and if you need to buy higher level spells. So that's one of the benefits of not having a fighter in your party and getting all the good armor items.
Yeah, an early Opal or Dragon armor is always a nice find for money.
Yeah, usually after Volcano, you're no longer in need of having to to grind money, but before that, it can get really hard to buy all those spells in Melmond and Crescent Lake.
Well, looks like Conaria Castle had a mage staff, but Drumboardist is deciding not to keep it.
I think that, well, if it were a Thorhammer or a Zeus Gauntlet, I would disagree about leaving it, but a mage staff would only help him in maybe Ice Cave? I mean, after Marsh?
The Ghosts in Sea Shrine and the Earth Elementals in Temple of Fiends.
Yeah, usually by the time you get to Ghosts, if you get a formation of 5 and they single target one of the black belts, he's gonna die. He's gonna die if he doesn't have insane HP. So with a mage staff, you get at least 2 or 3 turns to kill them all, and that is enough for the ghost to give you a really good pounding. Usually, it's a lot safer to just punch them to death and minimize their numbers, so there's less of them wailing on you. That's my opinion. Usually, the mage staff isn't that important.
And in the key-locked Dwarf Cave, we have a floater.
So we are in go mode then.
This is the freest seed I've seen in a while.
Yeah, this is very free. All they have to, well, if they find a ribbon, it's even more free than before. That's the only thing they're missing is a ribbon. Because you can buy pro rings and gold bracelets and have decent defense. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a defense sword or a white shirt, but usually with just a ribbon, you're good to go. Especially if you power level the black belt.
Oh, definitely. The scariest things are the outrageously powerful AoE damage spells, not really physical attacks.
We have a question in chat by Yogi the Monk. Are the classes random for each person? They get to choose for round 1 flags. For these flags, they get to choose their party. For round 2, you only get 1 random party member, and for the later flags, it keeps increasing with 2 random party members, then 3 random party members, and for the final matches, it's gonna be all random party members. But for this one, for these round 1 flags, they get to choose their own team. So we have Drum with a small lead. Still, I mean, he's keeping his lead from the start, and that might pay big because if you level those black belts, they're just gonna plow through everything, except ghosts. That's the only thing that can equalize this run, or in a very unfortunate death, because we're reaching those hydras, and we all know how hard those hydras hit.
The difficulty of the enemies once you reach this area definitely ramps up. Again, we see a pack of cobras and scorpions. It's just one example.
Wait, did Xarnax just forget to save and he just reset and went back to the Marsh Cave?
No, I believe he's going to check the locked chests in March.
Oh, that is a bad idea. No, that's gonna give Drum a huge lead.
That just cost him a good 10-15 minutes right there.
Especially with the seed and go mode. As soon as Drum gets his black belts leveled, that is gonna give Drumboardist a safe interval to look for ribbons without falling behind.
The only way this can pay off for Xarnax is if he finds a ribbon or a white shirt. I mean, apart from that, he is falling behind.
That is true. If he gets a ribbon, he's going to get that small lead on Drum if Drum decides to look for ribbons too, which he probably might. I really do hope that this pays off for Xarnax to make this a close race.
Well, even then, Drum isn't out of trouble just yet. I mean, a wipe can always happen.
Yeah, there's well, the biggest potentials for wipe is the Hydras right here, possibly carry with Death or Stone Hit,
Yeah,
and yeah, that or the Ghosts. The Ghosts are a big factor in solo black belt or double black belt run.
Death Touch Agama would also be pretty nice.
True, that would deny him the power leveling. He would have to go to either Gersharks or DI if he decides to go there, or the Blue Dragon. But by the time they reach the Blue Dragon, you don't really need to power level because all your party is ready to fight um, the Fiends in the last area.
And again, with regular enemy spells, I mean, the Blue Dragon isn't necessarily the best choice. With Thunder, that hits like a truck, and just making the trek to the eye is an ordeal in and of itself.
Yeah, round one, Blue Dragon is not a pushover. And if he decides to go to grind on the eye, he can because it's round one flags, and the eye has quad X.
Xarnax resetting after finding nothing in either Astos' castle or the key-locked doors in Marsh Cave.
Oh, that is unfortunate. Well, he can. Well, if he makes the decisions to go, I don't know. I mean, one way that I see Xarnax coming back is if Drumboardist takes a lot of time to look for a ribbon and Xarnax just goes.
Well, it also depends on how high both players decide to grind.
Yeah. I mean, from my testing, usually with level 23 to 25 black belts, well, both of them, it's enough to kill Kari safely. And then you just take both of them without resting the mages and grind on, or fight the Gersharks on the way, and probably a few encounters on the Mirage Tower and Floating Castle, and that's enough to, get you through the game. But a solo black belt, I think level 30 or 20, 28, 30 is good to be safe on Kari.
Xarnax headed to the Temple of Fiends now to check the 3 locked chests in the Chaos Shrine.
Yeah, Drum is... Oh, he finds a few red gargoyles, and these guys are really dangerous. Yeah, because of that, and he opts to reset.
We have a question in chat asking what bugs were fixed with the black belt. No bugs were actually fixed, but well, a lot of bugs were fixed, but none of the black belt specific ones. But the XP scaling we're using means that power leveling a black belt to actually allow him to hit just as hard as a knight with a Mazmune is considerably faster than it would be in the base game.
We have another question in chat, which is, so who is winning? I say that Drumboardist is winning right now. Unless Xarnax finds a ribbon here, or two.
Well,
that is true. He is leaving his black belt dead. I just noticed that, actually. I was paying so much attention to the go mode that I didn't realize. Oh, no, that's fine because he's not actually leveling right now. I mean, the small experience that he's getting, he's gonna make it up in the end and in the volcano. And I just saw that Drumboardist found a ribbon. That's gonna put him even further ahead.
Well, I'm of the opinion that the only good black belt is a dead black belt, but that is my very unpopular opinion.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who don't prefer the black belts. I don't like the red mage actually, but there's a lot of people who do like the red mage. It's just preferences, but there's a lot of strats to be done with both.
Oh yeah, I mean, pretty much any party can complete the game relatively easily.
Except thieves.
Yeah, thieves take a while.
Yeah, I tried doing a few thief strats and they just don't work.
Running 4 thieves is at least an hour and a half of extra time compared to any other party.
Did Xarnax just restore a save state? No, he is using a loader, I think. That's how they're called, which simulates an NES.
So Xarnax is playing on the physical hardware using a power pack flash cart, I believe.
Yeah, that's the power pack. That's what it's called.
So he's actually running the ROM on an actual NES.
Yeah. Yeah, he's actually playing directly from the NES hardware. So that's why it looked like he was loading a state, but he didn't load the state. He just it's like powering on and off.
Drum showing as he walks through all of the lava in the volcano. And it looks like he's skipping all the chests. He has his one ribbon, and he's happy with that.
Yeah, usually one ribbon is enough to beat the game with the black belts.
But he's showing why Heal 3 is so useful early, patching up all the damage you receive from the lava in one shot rather than having to menu through potions. Saves a considerable amount of time.
Yeah, Heal 3 is extremely powerful, no matter what point in the game you're at. And especially right now he can use up all his charges, because he's gonna have to kill off his mages to do the grind. If he decides to do it. I'm still not sure if he's gonna do it, but that strat involves doing the grind.
If he wants his black belts to be useful, he's going to have to.
Yeah. I mean, you can also just go directly, and by the time you get to Temple of Fiends, you're like level 23, 25, which is enough to beat the game, but it's a lot riskier. And with one ribbon, that is pretty risky. We all saw the well, whoever saw the Jacob race against Ekman Mia, that was a terrible Temple of Fiends with no ribbons involved. So yeah, that's a good example of what Temple of Fiends can do to you if you have no ribbons. Alright, so Drum is starting the Agama grind. He is putting his red mage on the top so he gets targeted more and dies quicker. I think he should heal his black belt. And Xarnax is heading over to get the canoe.
He may be electing to level up only one black belt, having found one ribbon. Might not feel comfortable leveling two black belts if he doesn't have protection for the other.
That is true. That is another path that he can take. I mean, the double black belt strat is to give you safety against the ghosts and being able to run away easier against enemies, because it's really time consuming when you only have one black belt that you can run away from a lot of groups. Right, so I don't consider Xarnax to be that far behind it. He immediately resets on those red gargoyles, Good choice. But yeah, I don't consider Xarnax to be that far behind because there's a ribbon inside the volcano. He's also gonna be in go mode. It's just gonna depend on who gets the better, the better runaways and who doesn't die to
Interesting.
something strange.
It's an interesting choice by Xarnax, just ignoring the chests before and just beelining the grind.
He probably feels he's far behind for going to the locked chests in Marscape and having to reset all those times. I mean, I would feel very behind if I checked the Marscape completely and found nothing. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about. And strangely, Xarnax still has his black belt dead. He's maybe gonna resurrect him after on getting to the Agamas. Where was the floater? The floater was in Dwarf Cape. It was in the locked chest in the Dwarf Cape.
Oh, there we go. He's bringing his black belt back up.
Oh yeah. Alright, so I guess Drumboardist is doing the solo black belt strat.
It's interesting that he chose to take two then.
Maybe he was planning on doing both, but since he found an early ribbon, he said, okay, I'm probably good with one of them. But he's gonna have to grind. Well, if he wants to be safe against Kari, he has to go over level 25. Because, yeah, level 25, there's a big chance that Kari's gonna two-shot you. And you're not gonna one-shot Kari with level 25 black belt. Risky to start the Agama grind too low. I don't. If he's level 15, he has a good. Yeah, he can two-shot the Agama, so that's a good. Yeah, he's level 20. He's fine.
The risk comes if you had to use your heal potions to get down to the Agama grind. But with access to Cure 4 and Heal 3, he was able to save all of his potions for the grind, making it much safer.
That is true, but I just noticed that they were talking about Xarnax. Xarnax Black Belt is level 10, which is very low. He's not going to be able to two-shot, or he's probably going to have to 4 or 5 round the Agamas if he wants to go solo. So he's probably going to get to, I don't know, I would get to 15 with the mages and then kill them off.
I agree.
Definitely. It's going to be faster just burning through those nuke charges anyway.
Yeah. And if he does decide to keep his mages, they're also going to get good experience. So they're not going to be that far behind later on in the game. But with this, Drumboardist is getting a little bit of a lead by just doing the solo grind. Because he can potentially one-shot the Agamas now.
So I'll just take this opportunity since everybody is grinding for the next 5 minutes. If you have a minute, be sure to follow our runners. And I'd also like to give a huge shout out and thank you to Fiesel for hosting this tournament over on Speed Gaming. It's very much appreciated by the entire community.
These two runners put a lot of effort into this game. They are consistent streamers, and they have a variety of games that they also stream. So yeah, be sure to drop them a follow. And thank you to Fiesel as well. He has been running this channel, these races for a long time now, and this would not be possible if it weren't for him. right, so I assume the drum is going to go at level 28 or 30, but if he decides to go solo black belt, I am very worried about those ghosts, because he's gonna end up finding ghosts.
Wonder if he might revive his mages just to get through those fights smoother.
Well, that would be a good choice, because the point of the double black belt solo is so you can level up on the way to Temple of Fiends, but he's already gonna have black belt ready to take on anything, so reviving his party members would not be a detriment to him at all. So let's make a little bet with the chat. How many Tyros do you guys think are gonna be killed today? I say that they're both gonna be merciful and not fight any.
I'm hoping for quite a few Tyro stakes.
We got a 4, a 50, a 5, and a 7 with 3 zeros. So there's more boats to killing Tyros than letting them survive. Alright, and Drum is ready to go kill Kari. Let's see if she has... I mean, it would be really unlucky if... And I hope I just didn't commentators curse this. For her to get stone or death hit. Okay, he survived that. Let's see if she hits again. Alright, so no commentator's curse. Yay. Xarnax is level 16 now with his black belt. He still has a ways to go. He's checking the the spell shop, so he's probably gonna decide to resurrect his party. Maybe not the last black belt, but the mages he might just bring them back.
And he elects to just walk right by the clinic, so he may be going with a solo black belt strategy, and I have the same concerns that you do then about the unrunnables in the Sea Shrine.
Yeah, right now that's the only thing that can kill him. Ghosts or a large group of waters. But it's a lot more... Ghosts are a more consistent encounter than waters. I've noticed for these flags. Although he's not gonna have to go check the mermaids. He's just gonna go directly to Kraken, and it's a really short walk if you don't check the treasure chest on the Sea Shrine. So he might possibly avoid those ghosts. Because there's only two floors where you can get them. No, wait, one floor where you can get ghosts going down to Kraken.
I think you were right. There was two. There's the second floor, and then I think technically the fourth floor going down that direction. So
that's true. The fourth floor also has ghosts in that.
It's very short if you're not checking chests, but it's still a threat.
He's decided to go to Earth Cave, which is not a bad choice. I mean, he has a powerful black belt. He can go anywhere he wants.
Do you think he's just gonna leave him dead, or his mage is dead, or is he gonna res him at some point?
Maybe for Temple of Fiends. Or Sea Shrine if he wants to play it safe.
So I mean, you're still at the mercy of a death touch enemy.
That is true. I don't know, that's a big risk. It's not that common that you find who the death enemy is. I mean, it's not that common to find a stone hit or death hit in these flags, but that is a big risk. Now, it would be terrible if the stone or death enemy is in the Temple of Fiends.
Or is a fiend.
Or is a fiend. That would be worse.
Even just a stun touch fiend is scary enough.
Or stun touch waters or ghosts or what else hits really hard? A large group of Batmans. So Xarnax is gonna get to level... What level is he? 25?
28.
Okay, so he's almost done too. I assume he would also go at level 30.
It might be looking for 32.
Yeah, 32 is a spike for the black belt. So question in chat, are these enemies randomized as well or are they vanilla? They are vanilla right now. The only thing that's randomized about the enemies is their hit status effect. For example, those geists and zombies and ghouls, they don't. Well, they can potentially not have their stun hit, and some other monster has the stun hit that they would have had. And the sorcerers, they also most likely have had their death hit shuffled to another enemy. So no, they are not randomized, except for that.
Well, in theory, their stats are randomized as well, but the scaling for this particular round is set pretty low. So I mean, it's essentially the same thing as vanilla stats. I mean, a couple of enemies might be a bit tougher, a bit easier, but nothing that's going to be game-changing.
The only time you might notice an impact is on an enemy who has large stats, large single stats. I'm thinking 120% ghosts will hit very hard, just because they already hit very hard.
Yeah, you actually do notice when the ghosts get increased stats. It's plain as day because they just destroy you faster than you would expect. So for the stats on the enemies, any one of their attributes can get down to 83% or as high as 20% more of their original stats. So they can be weaker by 17% or they can be stronger by 20%. It's in that range. And Drumboardist just punches Glitch to death again.
With one fiend down, looks like Drum's heading to the Sea Shrine. Or should I say two now?
Did he buy the bottle? Because that's a common mistake that I also make. A lot of people make, that you forget to buy the bottle and just slap your forehead. Oh no, he did get the Oxy Ale. I remember now. This is another bad thing about the solo black belt. You have to run all the way through the waterfall and then back. And that's another potential place that you could die if the mummies have stun hits, or you can't run away from the mud golems and they cast fast on themselves.
I was wondering if he might promote his party just so he could have access to exit in the level 7 shop, but it looks like he's not going to even bother.
Well, the time save that you get from not going to class change is pretty big. If this were a really close race, then that might be the difference between victory or defeat.
I feel like the time save is almost equivalent to the time it would take to walk out of the waterfall cave, though, because I don't believe warp is available either, right?
I did not see them.
But being in go mode, I think the waterfall cave is the only use for exit at this point.
Yeah, I can't see them using it anywhere else apart from maybe Temple of Fiends if they wanted to grind a bit in there. But I mean, the enemies can't get dangerous enough for it to be warranted.
Yeah, since they don't have to check the mermaids, the only place where exit or warp would be useful is here in the waterfall. And Xarnax is 33. I think he should go now.
And Drumboardist saying hello to Out of Bounds, Bat.
Everyone say hi to Out of Bounds Bat. He is a regular on these randomized races.
Oh, and just as you said, he's having trouble getting away from these mud golems.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The mud golems are really dangerous.
And that's it. He's going to have to take another shot.
If he doesn't run away from this, he's down. And yeah, that's what I was saying. Mud golems with fast. If he had 2 black belts, he might have been able to run away from that. That's why you take the other black belt for safety strats. But it doesn't seem that that's gonna hinder him too much since he has such a huge lead. But this might have been the difference between winning or losing if they were close. No beef curry. There's no exit spell yet. Not that I saw it, at least.
Exit is in the level 7 magic shop in Gaia, so class change is required.
They wouldn't even be able to use it unless his mage was level 20, I think. 21 or 20 for one of those level 7 charges. Those mummies are also another dangerous encounter if they have stun. Another 3 mud golems for Drum. And Xarnax is out of the volcano. He is gonna go directly to Tiamat, I guess. Did he get the ribbon from those chests? I didn't see him go back and get the ribbon. I don't think Xarnax got the ribbon.
I don't believe he did.
Well, let's just hope that the insanely high magic defense of the black belt is enough. So Xarnax can still catch up if Drum dies again, either here or on the sea shrine.
Xarnax It's like he was gonna fight that dinosaur, but nope, it got away.
Oh, good job, Tyro. Good job, just like we taught you. You use those long, strong legs of yours to compensate for your little arms and just run away from that nasty black belt. Oh, and oh no, he does have the bottle. I thought the Xarnax forgot to get the bottle. That would have been devastating. Right, and Drum makes it out of the waterfall. And now it all depends on Kraken and the ghosts. He should have punched the Gurpy. That's some good experience. Oh, Xarnax decided not to go to Floating Castle. He resurrects his Red Mage. He has Warp then. If he resurrected his Red Mage.
Well, fat load of good that did it.
Yeah, unfortunately, he did not stay at the
okay.
end, so low HP Red Mage.
That's a mistake. That's not a new mistake because it's happened to a lot of us. I'm pretty sure. And by a lot of us, I mean me. Haha, Kappa B.
It's like Xarnax recognized that those nachos are good experience too.
Yeah, they're really good experience, especially the red ones. And they're really easy to kill. And Drumboardist gets a ton of lobsters. If he can run away from this one, he's gonna die, most likely. And his Red Mage goes down.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna start over again, and I don't really blame him.
I wonder why he's taking the Red Mage. Maybe for safety reasons on the Ghost? Because he has Nuke?
He might also be concerned about how much time the Wisahag Red Sahag formation will take him to clear.
That's true, he doesn't have a Suscant or a Thorhammer to help him in that.
Even a black shirt would help, but I think he just has access to fire in the mage staff.
And there's the Ghost that we're talking about, but yeah, that Red Mage is gonna make quick work of them. Even if he didn't have the Red Mage, 3 Ghosts are probably not enough to kill him if he gets the first turn. Which would drop him down to 2. But when you get that 5 Ghost formation, that's when it gets really scary.
And it looks like Xarnax is played it safe, at least with the first formation of Mud Golems that I saw. He just punched him out rather than trying to run.
Yeah, those 3 Golem formations would be safer to just punch them to death. But he's getting good run rolls. Alright, and Drum makes it out of the... Oh no, he cast a 5 Ghost formation. But he gets an early nuke, so he's fine.
Commentator's curse averted.
Yeah.
For now.
We still gotta see what Kraken does. I mean, technically, if Kraken has Stone or Death, the Red Mage could still beat him with Nuke if he gets high damage. He gets another Ghost encounter, and wow, that's really lucky from Drum.
He's been very fortunate on the turn orders. That is a battle that could easily result in both being dead if they get the first hits.
Yeah, all three of those Ghost encounters, they did not throw a single punch at them. And Xarnax is still heading out from the waterfall. He decides to kill these three mud golems. Yeah. The only thing that he needs to hope for is Drum getting really unlucky somewhere. He probably needs Drum to die twice for him to catch up. Cause yeah, he has a pretty big lead.
I mean, at this point, anything that would wipe Drum has an equally high chance to wipe Xarnax as well. So I.
Oh, and is it the Sea Trolls that had Death Touch? The Red Mage is down.
He may have just been clobbered to death.
Yeah. Since the Red Mage has such little defense, and yeah, might have been clobbered to death.
Minochi confirming in chat that it's the Lobster that has Death Touch.
If there's one monster in the game that doesn't need Death Touch, it's those lobsters.
Yeah, you can get a huge group of them.
Drum is very fortunate now, but this will be very treacherous if he decides to do Temple of Fiends with solo black belt.
Yeah, and he doesn't know. No, he does know that the lobsters have Death Touch, unless he didn't pay attention and he thinks it's the Sea Trolls, which could happen. Also, Xarnax has no idea that lobsters have Death Touch. And Drum is one fiend ahead. No, two fiends ahead of Xarnax, so I don't see Drum losing this unless he gets insanely unlucky multiple times.
It looks like he's going to take the time to promote after getting a few more levels into his black belt.
Looks like Xarnax is unhappy with the solo black belt and is choosing to just res his entire party for the Sea Shrine. I can't say I blame him.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Considering what we know, that is a good choice.
Well, just the unrunnable encounters alone. I mean, having three mages to just make short work of them is more than enough reason to get them up.
And it seems Drum is also planning to... Oh no, he just resurrects the Red Mage. I would probably go for the... Well no, the Red Mage has Nuke. And he can't learn life too. That's a shame.
He can learn life though.
Yeah, he's gotta be satisfied with that. And Xarnax gets his first ghost encounter. But he's gonna be safe. Unless they decide to hit the Black Mage. Oh, 184 damage.
Oh, Drumboardist representing team stakes and making quick work of that Tyro.
Drum, no!
Drum, I believed in you.
Hope you see nothing from lobsters, or nothing but lobsters from here on out.
Let's see some Tyro kill appreciation in chat, please.
Oh, can we get some Bible thumps in chat for the Tyro?
Looks like Drum has brought enough housing items to skip a lot of the encounters on the peninsula here, which is good because there are a lot of both annoying and unrunnable encounters here.
And he gets the Lobsters of Death, but he makes quick work of them.
Drum, please.
No, Drum, stop it. You don't have to kill them. Your black belt is already strong enough.
Yeah, but look at all those muscles, man. He needs a lot of protein just to keep up.
Oh, Frost Wolves! He doesn't kill them though. Probably because they have frost.
And Drumboardist being introduced to the Lefane Unrunnables.
I mean, Noog is so strong. It doesn't matter what he has in front of him, he just nukes him. He wins.
Four angry red dinosaurs. That's a terrifying formation, but at least it's a chance to strike first.
If Drumboardist is quick enough, this might be a sub 130. Well, it's probably going to be a sub 130 seed, but he can probably make it 120. Sub 120. If he's lucky enough with the... If he's lucky enough with the runs.
Yeah, 120 is going to be a stretch. I mean, Temple of Fiends is going to take at least 5 to 10 minutes just by itself.
Our next, the rare celebrity sighting, the blue Tyro Stakes, takes out a T-Rex.
I don't know how to feel about the T-Rex though. I love Tyro, but what does chat think about the T-Rex? Tyro's cousin.
What's unfortunate about that kill is it means Warmech, that's one less chance for Warmech to be seen.
Well, we can still hope that Drum gets a Wormek. I mean, not because we want him to die, but because we want to see Wormek. I vote for double Wormek.
Unfortunately, Chitin, without having the shuffled RNG tables, I don't think we're going to be seeing triple Warmex.
Oh, sorcerers still have trance, which is the only thing that goes through Riven. Well, everything can go through Riven, but trance just blatantly ignores it.
As we saw demonstrated in X-Ice Blues last match.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is a terrible ambush for Drum.
Having a high-level party leader might make a few of them run away, though. So
I think that Red Mage is dead. Yeah, but the Black Belt is... He has 2 more turns to be able to run if the Man Cats keep casting Fire 2, which they're not. And Xarnax deciding to take that Batman fight. I never liked fighting Batman. I think they just hit way too hard for the payoff that they give.
I agree. I think they're too beefy to be worth the trouble.
Especially when there are so many other efficient monsters in the floating castle.
Oh yeah,
Like-
the second floor of the floating castle with the basically the star pattern with the 6 chest rooms has an outrageous amount of, well, the room he's in right now actually has an amazing amount of good encounters.
I really like the Eye and the Sentry. They give a lot of good experience.
The Great Naga is also not that bad. Eye or Sentry are better, but I mean they're all in the 4 to 6k range.
I don't think Ribbon protects against Trance. Trance is the only thing that doesn't care about the Ribbon.
Ribbon does not protect against trance.
Yeah, the magic defense from the Black Belt does, though. Xarnax doesn't have a Ribbon. Moderately sure.
Unfortunately, since Xarnax is running the black belt, we may never see the armor screen for the rest of the game.
Yeah. Unless he opens a chest and finds something to equip, which I don't think he will. He's in full go mode. $2,522 damage. No, don't kill the
Leave him
Tyro.
alone.
No.
It looks like nobody likes you today, Edge.
What else is new?
That poor Tyro. He suffered. Or maybe he didn't. It was a quick death. And Drumboardist is going to beat the game. He doesn't do the battle manipulation, the encounter manipulation.
Those are going to be some very dead mages.
The only thing, well, no. I mean, he's gonna lose everybody. Yeah, he just resets.
Yeah, it's a good move being so early on. I might actually reset to this warm fight being so early again.
I would actually put the beefier black belt up top, because he's gonna resist a lot of hits. And with his white mage and red mage there, he can just heal up easily. Whereas that weak black belt or master is just gonna flop easily.
I agree, and he's also not favorable in the initiative calculations with his strongest character in the back row.
I mean, without ribbons, if he gets gas dragons, which he do, yeah, it's really possible. It's really likely that he will without the manipulation. That poison's just gonna destroy his party. And he's not getting the poison attack. He didn't get poison. Wow.
That is very fortunate for him.
It seems like the game is trying to give Run the win with those ghosts and all those lucky things. Well, he did die to the mud golem.
Yeah, let's see if this encounter is more favorable. Is less favorable to him.
Okay, then now that's for. I expect to see 1 or 2 poisons. And there's one. Oh, and Xarnax with some wolves. Roar!
Keep in mind, not having set up his encounters, he's going to be facing off against a lot of Earths and a lot of Waters as well. So his Temple of Fiends slog is gonna take a while.
Yeah, those Earths. I mean, I guess the Earths aren't that much of a detriment, except for the time it takes to kill them. But I would be more worried about the lobsters in the waters.
The Earth Elementals can have a surprisingly strong melee attack, though.
Yeah, but it's not enough to kill Drum, and not like, for example, the waters. I think the waters are capable of just destroying him.
Oh yeah. I mean, the Earths are gonna grind down his stock of potions, so he might not have enough resources to make it down.
That's true. Sometimes you just when you get to Tiamat or after Tiamat, you don't have potions to heal up to full. And if you get, yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Finish. It was just a question in chat. I'll answer later.
I was gonna say, if Chaos decides to nuke you, then Swirl you, then Inferno you, yeah, that's bad.
I don't expect Chaos to live long enough to cure 4, let alone nuke, though. We had a question in chat asking if this game had Phoenix Downs. The original NES version does not. The only way to resurrect a party member is through the life spell or by going to town with a clinic. The remakes did add Phoenix Downs, though.
Yeah, only life can resurrect here.
And unlike every other Final Fantasy game, it doesn't work in combat.
Yeah, that is a big. I think everybody has tried to resurrect a party member in battle, and just to find out that you can't.
Though I'm not familiar with Final Fantasy 2, maybe you can answer this. Does the life spell work in combat in FF2?
It does, but you have to level it up to be to have a good accuracy rate. Yeah, Final Fantasy 2 is even more evil than it's the most evil Final Fantasy in the series.
I'm sure we can both agree that we would love to dodge encounters with potions, though.
That is true. I mean, that works for a speedrun, but it's nearly impossible for you to know which encounters are next in a casual playthrough. But yeah, just Final Fantasy 2 is evil. If you guys just stay away from that game, at least the NES version. Or if you like to suffer, then go ahead.
Well, I think the prologue sets up the game very well, where you just immediately enter battle and get destroyed.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, that's a good indicator of what you're going to face in the actual game. But yeah, enough about FF2. This is FFR. We have Drum.
We have Xarnax starting the Temple of Fiends, and unlike Drum, he's not going to run into gas dragons.
So only 3 waters for Drum. I mean, if Drumboardist dies here to the lobsters, then Xarnax is gonna win. If he doesn't die himself, that is. So we have a race, people.
We definitely have a race. Xarnax wisely choosing to have 4 party members up.
And we have the lobsters. And they struck first. Oh no, they didn't strike first. But Drum couldn't run. Considering how the lobsters didn't kill him, I think the sea trolls are the ones with death touch.
He still has another lobster sea troll encounter to deal with, though.
We got a bunch of waters.
Assuming the waters don't destroy him first, they are hitting like trucks.
Yeah, this might potentially be Xarnax's chance to win.
Drum needs to get fairly lucky and hit one of the ones that hasn't already hit.
Yeah, that's a wipe for Drum.
Yep.
Oh wow, these are like this is a huge turn of events. I did not expect this, but wow, this is what the randomizer does. It equalizes.
Yeah, just like that, Drum losing a good 15-minute lead.
You cannot understate the importance of having mages to support you through the Temple of Fiends. It's critical. There are a lot of nasty things here that can take out even a level 50 soloed black belt.
Well, actually, I think Maya agrees with me on that. You know our stance on mages.
Yeah, those mages are really important. But I also have to question Drum's decision to not level up both black belts, because that might have helped him through that water fight. I mean, he could have leveled both black belts and been a bit safer, but I guess he thought he had it in the bag when he got that early ribbon. And speaking of early ribbon, Xarnax doesn't have a ribbon himself, so he could potentially die to Bane or Crack if he doesn't one-shot the Fiends first.
I don't expect Carry or Kraken to be much trouble, but the first turn Bane from Tiamat is definitely something that's incredibly scary.
Yeah. I mean, Xarnax is a lot safer going into the seafloor.
He's also not going to be getting the same encounters. He's going to be seeing less waters. He might run into lobsters, but he's not going to see two groups.
Alright, let's see what Xarnax gets.
Oh, that's gonna... Xarnax not choosing to take advantage of the safe tiles at the bottom of a room. Taking a good chunk of unnecessary steps there. He's probably going to be seeing more encounters than he should.
Yeah. Unless something catastrophic happens to Xarnax, he has this in the bag.
Of course, commentator's curse is going to kick in now.
I mean, unless these guys kill off. No, but even if they kill off the black belt, the red mage and the white mage can still resurrect him. I find it really difficult for Xarnax to lose here, unless a terrible Bane or Crack. That's the only way I see him losing, Bane or Crack right now.
Yes, the stats can't roll high enough for physical damage to not work.
Yeah, you gotta get it into like the 200% or more.
Yeah, 200%. The evade can start being a problem, and absorb is starting to show as well. Well, never mind the first turn Bane. We're not even gonna see Tiamat.
Yeah.
At this point, it's really Xarnax's race to lose. There's nothing Chaos can do to threaten him.
Except crack. Let's see what happens. Okay, he started off with Ice 3. Okay, Xarnax should one-shot him, especially with fast.
I don't expect we'll be seeing a slow 2 anytime soon.
Yeah. And that's it. GG to Xarnax for winning from a huge deficit. Like, that was incredibly huge. Good.
That
Yeah.
That was a 15-minute deficit easily, but with an official SRL time of 1:30:54, Xarnax wins his first match.
That is... I mean, this is why this randomizer is so great. You think that there's no way somebody's going to win. I mean, this seed, I did not think that Xarnax was going to win. I'm going to be honest. I thought that Drum was going to win. But, wow.
I would argue that it has nothing to do with the randomizer and just everything to do with Temple of Fiends in FF1 with a single character. It's always a huge gamble.
I mean, yeah, that's true. He didn't have a defense sword or a white shirt to mitigate those water hits. I mean, I guess it's the gamble. He took a gamble and it didn't pay off.
And it looks like he's down to a single character again.
Alright, let's see what happens here.
Oh, right off the bat, the Death Trot Lobsters.
I mean, by now I think one of those lobsters should have hit the mark, but they're not. And that's really strange. That makes me think that the trolls have the death hit. I mean, he is getting wailed on.
This is the one thing I'm not certain of about the game. Most instant death spells require you to have less than 300 health. It might be the case for Death Touch as well.
Oh, he gets the same 6 water encounters he did before.
I think this is going to be it. He just is receiving too much damage at once from these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not gonna make it. He still has 5 more turns to go, and those waters aren't gonna... They're not gonna let him get there.
No, he needs some kind of avoidance. Either, like you said, a defense sword or a white robe, or he's just not going to make it through the seafloor.
I don't know if Xarnax wants to come into the room. I don't see him, but we can wait for him. For an interview.
I just sent Xarnax a message.
And also, Xarnax did this without a ribbon. Without wall. So that's a pretty big feat. We all know what this place can do without a ribbon. Right, while we wait for Drum to finish, please remember to drop a follow to the runners. They put on a tremendous show today, a really good race. It wasn't close until the end, and it was a huge surprise. So yeah, I consider this a pretty good race.
That was definitely an upset. Drum had a lead throughout the entire game since Xarnax decided to go check the locked chests in Marsh Cave, costing him a bunch of time.
No, he had the lead after Garland. I mean, he had the lead the entire game. He didn't let up. I mean, he just kept growing that lead more and more. It's just that single water death that got him.
Xarnax will be along when Drum finishes.
Okay. Alright, so we got 4 Tyro kills, right?
And a T-Rex.
And a T-Rex, yes. So who in chat said that there was gonna be 4 Tyro of that? I remember seeing somebody put 4. DD Gamings, you are the winner, good sir. You win a roo from me. Yay.
That was indeed quite a lot more Tyros than we're used to seeing.
Yeah. I think that's the highest number of Tyro kills this tournament has had, if I'm not mistaken.
So far, though, I expect we'll be seeing a lot more once the encounter tables have been shuffled around.
Alright, so Drum done with the Earth floor. And the black belt is all alone again. So if Drum would have done the manipulation, he would not have had that water encounter. And he probably might have won. So I mean, this shows the power of the encounter manipulation for round 1 flags. I myself did not think much of it until seeing this.
Yeah, it's a point of contention in the community. I don't think anybody likes it, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, this proves that it is a good strat to employ for these flags. He can run from this. He doesn't have to fight that water and Naga encounter. Unless he can. I was gonna say unless he can't run away and he gets destroyed again.
Well, that's hoping he gets a chance to run away before they destroy him. Luckily, he does.
You know what? I think the red mage just got wailed on to death on the sea shrine. I don't think the lobster's death hit, because it would have happened by now.
Someone in chat noted that it may be working similar to paralysis touch, in that the ribbon is protecting against death touch because of the lightning weakness.
Yeah, and also the 300 hit point rule.
Oh, there's the forfeit from Drumboardist.
Oh yeah, he just died. No, yeah. That is GG.
Alright, we're gonna give both our runners just a few minutes to stretch their legs a bit before bringing them in here.
Mm-hmm. So, an unfortunate turn of events for Drum, but a fortunate turn of events for Xarnax. So, anybody who wants to pick up this randomizer and feels like they're really behind in a race, just remember this and know that you still have a chance. Just keep going and you still have a chance to win. Because this randomizer is unpredictable and fun at the same time.
The Temple of Fiends Revisited is the great equalizer.
Indeed. Especially later on when we have crazier flags, it can get even more difficult than it is right now.
And we have Xarnax joining us right now. Hello.
Congratulations, Xarnax.
Thank you very much. That was the most generous seed I have ever seen.
How did you feel after checking the locked door, the locked chest, the chest and the locked doors in Marsh Cave?
In Marsh Cave?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I knew that the odds that I would find something there were very slim. But I also knew I was going to be beating myself up if I had to come back there. And I figured it wasn't going to take too long to get through with all the nukes and everything I had. And if I knew also all I was looking for was floater at that point, I think. And so I knew once I got to the bottom and opened the chests, if I didn't find anything, I could just reset. So I wasn't going to have to make the trek both ways, at least. But yeah, once I found the floater in Dwarf Cave, I figured I was probably behind.
Well,
that could be an hour and 15-minute seed or less if I had just gone straight to Dwarf Cave when I got the TNT.
well, let me tell you that Drumboardist had the lead the entire game up until Temple of Fiends. You were 2 Fiends behind him. When you killed Kari, he already killed Lich, and he was going after Kraken. When you finished the waterfall, he already killed Kraken, and he was getting to Tiamat. So you were far behind. And I'm not gonna lie, I did not think that you were gonna win. But you have to check the bot just to see for yourself what happened.
How confident did you feel going into Temple of Fiends without a ribbon on?
Hello, Drum.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
I could not catch a break in that frickin' Temple of the Past. Man. The entire... Okay, let's go ahead and power up, see if I can get life on the Red Mage, so I have the backup for a couple of meat shields. I have some AoE, and it didn't matter. No one's getting past carry. Oi.
So, Artea, you asked Xarnax about the ribbon?
Yeah, I was wondering how confident you were feeling going down Temple of Fiends without having a single ribbon on you.
Hello, hello.
Wait, who are you asking?
Xarnax. I don't know if he's here.
I don't know. I mean, I found the one in Gurgu and just immediately went to grind and the boss rush. And then we saw how well that worked for me.
Yeah, we saw you get the ribbon, but Xarnax didn't get it. He just went straight down to the grind, and he didn't have a ribbon the entire game. And I thought that was going to be a huge factor, but it wasn't.
Yeah, no. I mean, the big thing about your stupid strats, if you will, of using the 2 black belts is if you don't see a ribbon, you've got 2 guys. So if one falls, at least you still got the other one. But I had one. I thought I'd be fine. I was not.
Actually, the stupid strats involve the 2 black belts in case what happened to you in the Sea Shrine. What happened to you not in the Sea Shrine, in the Temple of Fiends doesn't actually happen or doesn't actually kill you. That the other black belt was insurance.
Yeah, pretty much if at any point in time you lose one, at least you have another.
Yeah.
In this case, I lost everybody. Man.
You have some really unfortunate luck going down there and losing all your party members before the seafloor.
I mean, to be fair, I probably would have kept going. It was dumb of me to go out of my way to get to turn in the tail. I mean, that's a 5-minute time loss just on the hopes I'd be able to get life on the red mage. So I mean, shouldn't have really done it. I could have just taken the white mage as the other person. I wanted the red mage for the AoE.
That is actually a valid strat, but I guess the Temple of Fiends said no.
Temple
Not
of Fiends
this
said, I like
time.
your strat. How about 6 waters again?
You could have employed or I don't know if you know about the manipulation, the encounter manipulation setup.
Near the start of the run, I was trying to remember some of the step count, and then towards the end of it, I just said, just go. Just stop screwing around with it and don't worry about it.
Yeah, that would have actually probably given you the win. You do realize that you were 2 Fiends ahead of Xarnax.
I mean, yeah, when I jumped I stopped streaming, jumped in the channel, and immediately heard he was ahead for most of the race. Like, oh, don't say that to me. I don't. But that's fine. I mean, Xarnax played better, and that sometimes the game will also kick me in the shin. So there's that. I'm not saying he didn't outplay me. Obviously, he did.
Is Xarnax back? Are you back, Xarnax? Hello, hello. I think he is not. Well, yeah, you both played really well. Xarnax decided to go to the Marsh Cave to check the locked chests in there. So that gave you an even bigger lead. And then, what else? Gave you a bigger lead. I think that's the biggest thing.
Well, what was in the chests? I have to know now.
It was nothing useful.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we could hear
I
you.
hear you now.
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I believe it was like a cure and a heal and a cabin or something.
If I would have done one other thing differently, I would have actually tried to look at a couple of armor shops for a gold ring, because the silver on the black belt there just wasn't enough defense. I might have been able to survive some of those waters.
Actually, your black belt, what level
Oh
was
no,
it?
yeah, he would have outpaced at that point. You're right. I'm thinking
Yeah.
of Opal, because the Opal Pro Ring ribbon would have been 43.
What level was your black belt by the end?
Which time? I think 40 at max, but it didn't matter against 6 waters.
Right. Yeah. No, won't do it. I think I got cut off right before I heard the answer to the last question I asked.
The one with the ribbon.
What was who did Drum? Did you have any attempts at chaos before I got there? I guess you wouldn't know.
Who, me? No, I didn't even get to Kraken.
Oh, you okay?
Like, all 3 times I got down to that floor, I only had the black belt left at that point, well, the master at that point, and it was a group of multiple either waters or the full screen trolls and lobsters, and I just got whittled down.
Yeah, I have played these flags exactly once. It was the showcase race that we did, the first one, and I'm really glad I did. Because if I hadn't, then I probably would have done the same thing you did. Just gone into Temple of Fiends with just the black belt.
Oh no, I've had the full party, but none of them survived past carry. I had two. Yeah, the red mage, which I powered up so he'd have access to life, and the white mage. So I had two people that could resurrect. I should have dumped a little more levels in them during the Agama grind before killing them off because none of them had enough life to be able to survive anything.
Yeah.
So Artea's question is, can you repeat your question?
You went into Temple of Fiends without a single ribbon on you. How confident were you just walking down there?
I was feeling all right. I mean, my black belt was basically maxed out. The other two were basically the rest of the party was basically to absorb damage. I knew. I suppose I would have been if the. I guess like because I had life. I'm pretty sure the red mage could cast life, just not life 2.
No, he couldn't use either until you broke him with the tail.
Huh. Okay. I guess I never used it with him. Never had to worry about that. I actually thought he had life, and so I figured as long as one of them survives anything that happens, then I should be fine. Maybe.
Yeah,
but I felt fine.
When Drum died to the waters, that's what gave you the lead. But we were thinking that you might give the lead over back to Drum if you died to an unlucky Bane or Crack, since you didn't have any ribbons.
Right. Oh, right. Yeah, it's always possible. I mean, the likelihood is so low, it's kind of a risk you have to take. I think the amount of time that I could have spent looking for ribbons without finding one was, the pace going through Temple of Fiends is maybe 5 minutes, maybe a little more, and it just didn't seem worth checking every chest I came across in the hopes, or especially going out of the way. I could have maybe opened extra chests, but as soon as I found the floater, I was pretty set on. I also felt behind, so I knew I had to take a couple risks.
Hell, I figured I was behind. That's why I figured I'm only going to open up the second floor of Gurgu and then just go from there. Once I saw the ribbon, the third chest in, I was like, I don't even need to open anything anymore. I'm just going to go because I figure I'm behind.
Yeah,
and it turned out I was true at the end.
I didn't open a single chest in any of the Fiend dungeons. I found how about that slab and crown though?
Yeah, no joke. Okay, that's good. I'm going to keep looking. Okay, I'm glad I kept looking. Let's get out of this marsh cave.
Yeah, those were ridiculous. And then, as soon as I got the floater, I was like, all right, I'm just going to level my black belt and go, because I don't have time to do anything else.
What'd you end up getting your black belt up to?
49, I think.
Well, what'd you get him up to in the grind?
In the Agama grind, I think I got to 37 or 38. I waited till he had over 750 hit points because I didn't know what carry I was going to do.
So now with your first match being over, is there anything either of you is going to do differently for the next match?
Level up the red mage more.
Yeah, I don't know. It really depends. It depends too. Those level 1 spells were really nice.
Nuke it too is nuke.
Yeah. Well, at the start of the game though, all you see is the level 1 spells, and if that's enough to determine whether or not you want to change your party, the Fire 3 by itself was enough for me to keep rolling with red and black mage. Depending on what spells I get at level 1, the odds that I would change my party are very small, I think.
Yeah, same. I'm probably just going to keep the same group.
The most likely thing that would happen is I would restart and just use another red mage instead of a black mage. But the only other thing I need to, one of my big, just not problems, but one thing that I have a habit of doing in randomizer races is something along the lines of, man, what if floater is one of the locked keys in Marsh Cave? That'd be so awesome if I just found it on the first try without having to come back later. And so I take these very low odds, high reward gambles just because it'd be really fun if it paid off. And a lot of times that comes back to bite me.
I mean, this seed had a lot of the more difficult to find quest items, the crown and the slab, really early. So I don't think that was too much of a gamble, because you're guaranteed to get the floater before Sea Shrine. So the only other possible places would have been Ice Cape or Deals, not counting Earth Cape.
And I didn't open a single chest in Volcano.
Yeah. Yeah. But
before Volcano, that was a bad idea. I mean, statistically, that's not a great move.
It was good because the floater was in the Dwarf Cape. If the floater was in the Volcano, then would you have... Okay, if the floater was not in the Dwarf Cape, would you have checked the chests in Volcano?
Oh, yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a really good point. I guess I had floater before I even went into Volcano. Yeah. I'm getting order mixed up now. Yeah, I was in Goma before I opened the canal. Yeah.
All right then. Well, that's it for me. I don't know if you guys have... If you have another question, Artea, or you guys want to add something else to this interview?
No, I'd just like to remind everyone, please take 30 seconds and give both of these runners a follow. And if this is the first time joining us, do hop onto our Discord if you're interested in the randomizer. The community is honestly one of the nicest ones I have ever seen. And we've had a slew of new people joining lately. So I mean, finding a race is not going to be an issue, or if you have any questions, just ask, and usually within the hour, somebody's answered it already.
I just want to say thanks again to Fiesel for hosting us on Speed Gaming. Really appreciate all the hard work he's put into promoting this tournament in our community.
Sounds good.
Definitely. And if you're looking to watch another match, we have one tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern on Speed Gaming 2, and another one at 10 p.m. right here on Speed Gaming 1. Both will be the second matches between their respective opponents. So they should both make for very interesting races to watch.
Yeah, also one last shout out to our administrators for this tournament. They work really hard planning all of this from the start and keeping this running. So shout outs to all of you guys.
I'd just like to say thanks y'all for having us.
Yeah, thanks for the restream. Thanks for the commentary. Thanks for watching. That was a fun, really fun seed to play. Actually, a lot of unusual decisions I had to make.
Well, congratulations again, Xarnax, on your win, and I'm looking forward to seeing round 2 between both of you.
Yeah, tomorrow night, same time. I don't know what channel we're going to be on yet.
You will be playing on Speed Gaming 2 right after Zardia versus Azriel.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks again. I'm going to go get some food, and hope to see you guys tomorrow.
I'm going to go nap, so yeah, see y'all tomorrow.
Have a good evening, everyone.
Thanks.